What is going on, stallions and stallionettes? Welcome to the Gamer Heaven. I'm your host, AK40 Kevin. Today we're going to be building or speccing out a Battle Beaver as well as an Evil controller. I'm going to show you how to get the best bang for your buck on both of these websites if you want to cut back on some of the cosmetic or aesthetic upgrades and go sheer performance. Then I'm going to show you how expensive these chunks of plastic can get out the door if you get all the bells and whistles. It's kind of a boomer saying. If you get the bee's knees and mule's tits edition, flagship. Let's get it. Let's get a little music fading in here. There it is. So I do want to preface this video by saying that I did reach out to both Battle Beaver and Evil controllers. Evil controllers said they're currently not looking for any partnerships or sponsored collaborations, and Battle Beaver just didn't respond to me. And I've emailed them 2 times, once from my personal email address and once from the YouTube channel email address with the little signature placard and whatnot, so they know, damn, this is official. This is a top flight A-tier YouTube channel. And then I link my controller playlist in there so they can see some of the previous partnerships or sponsorships that we've done with controllers, such as testing that Turtle Beach controller a month before drop, AIM, Hex Gaming, Dream Controllers, Mega Mods, and some of the other controller companies that we worked with here on the channel in the past. Sharing my screen, we are going to start on the Battle Beaver website, which I have to say has a pretty aesthetically pleasing layout. This is a nice place to browse and spend your life savings on. It is also quite easy to navigate. If you click on Customize over here, they break it out by platform. We are going to be building a PS5 controller today. Now, they break it into 2 tiers, a Performance Builder and a Pro Builder. Performance Builder basically cuts down on some of the options, and Pro Builder allows you to fully tweak and customize every setting possible. So it starts at $82, even if you just get a standard DualSense controller, which is kind of weird because if you come over here, it's $75 for the Cosmic Red, $70 for the Midnight Black, and $70 again for the White. The White did drop down to about $60 on Amazon for a while, but is right back up to the original MSRP when the console launched, which is $70 US. Now, Battle Beaver has the most in-depth customization of their rear buttons because you can actually change the placement. They drill holes into the rear shell, and you can actually get them low, high, more inward on the rear shell, more outward. It's pretty awesome. So we're going for a 4-button design over here. Now, if you decide to forego getting a remapping chip where you can remap your buttons on the fly, then you will have to set up what you want all the buttons bound to. But I am, of course, going to get the remap chip, and I want 4 buttons on there. Now, without getting your hands on some kind of a test unit, you strictly have to rely on reviews that you've seen on YouTube or read in forums, and then also just looking at the visualization in the builder here. So that's kind of an ideal, but there really is no way to know what's perfect for your hand size because there are no average size hands. Everyone's hands are slightly different. So I went to the controller wall in the living room and grabbed a couple of bad boys off the old shelf there. I've got the AIM controller over here with 4 rear paddles, remappable of course, and then we got this Joker themed Mega Mods controller over here, which does have a mod chip on board, which is pretty cool, and then it has these 2 mechanical rear paddles. Clicky. I like it. So I more or less just got these for the shell design so I can kind of look at the picture here, which you guys can't see. There you go. And just be like, okay, well, yeah, the buster's down here around my ring finger, and we'll figure this out. I'm about a medium-sized male in all aspects of life, probably a buster. I've been told that in high school. I was told that I was a buster by the neighborhood bully. I think that'll work out fine for me because the way I hold a controller naturally, a DualSense controller or any controller for that matter, I hike up pretty far up on the controller. I seem to get good leverage like that. Not that I'm, working on a railroad or anything where I need leverage on my jackhammer, but tend to hike up on controllers pretty high. So we're gonna go standard and low. Then you have to choose a button assignment, which is weird because it's remappable, but whatever. You don't have to sit here and watch this whole process. My editor, Kevin, will cut this out. Yeah, I got you, big dog. I cut that boring footage right out of there because the attention span of the internet user is abysmal. Now they have another layer of customization here, and that is the actual button switches that you would like in there. They have standard, which are highly responsive with a crisp and firm click when pressed, louder option of the 2. So just like the mechanical switches in a gaming keyboard or mouse, they're going to be very clicky, which most likely will be a little bit annoying for your comrades that are voiced up with you in Discord, or if you're live streaming or screen recording for something like a YouTube video, then you're probably going to pick up a lot of clicks. They also have quiet and soft over here. This button type features the same size and style with about half of the volume and are easier to press compared to our standard click. Great for quieter rooms and streamers looking to help dampen their rear button sound. I have heard from other reviewers that not only are these substantially quieter, but they also prefer the feel of the quiet/soft switches because it is a much lighter press. But my only concern with that is accidental actuation, where you're just resting your hand on the shell normally and then you press the button without trying to. Standard is going to be very clicky and tactile. Quiet and soft is also a mechanical switch, but it is going to be substantially quieter. I'm going to go with the quiet and soft and just hope for the best. No harm, no foul. Cool. So if you're just looking for 4 remappable rear buttons, you're looking at $171.50. Not to mention, I do believe this company runs promotions quite frequently. Now, Battle Beaver is one of the very few custom controller companies on the market that does offer increased thumbstick tension. I have heard Extreme is, well, just that. Pretty taut not. You got to use a little bit of muscle in that thumb, which will definitely increase with your accuracy when you're doing that finite precision maneuvering. Maybe you're doing some sniping or something where you just need to feather over a target. My left stick is going to be stock, and my right stick, I'm going all the way up to extreme. And it says right here, recommended for use with thumbstick toppers such as control freaks. Well, I was going to run those anyway. And the reason for that is, since these are quite tight or hard to move, they have a lot of resistance, you do get more leverage with a higher right stick, so it's going to be easier for you to maneuver that bad boy. Increase says recommended for FPS gamers, allows for higher sensitivity while maintaining accuracy. Again, we're going with extreme, baby. X Games. All right, that's got us at 184 bones. So adding smart bumpers, which is basically mechanical mouse-like switches in the bumpers, bumps the price from the price from 184 to 209. Okay, so this is a $25 option. Oh, that's weird. It's holy crap. It's independent for I can't comprehend or fathom why I can't think of a use case scenario where somebody would want one of their bumpers mechanical, but the other one, the standard mushy membrane switch. You would want both or neither. Okay, so that's a $50 option. Guess what? I'm gonna forego that. I'm fine with the standard bumpers on the DualSense. Next. Now again, same thing over here with the triggers. If you just want one trigger, like maybe you want your right trigger with a mouse click, but you still want the linear pull on the left trigger, you can do that. This is the only builder, the only custom controller company I've ever seen offer that separation. Okay, so that is a $26 option to add these. I'm gonna forego that option on this controller as well as the Evil controller, and the reason for that is not only to shave down in cost, but all first-party Sony Interactive Entertainment games, i.e. Sony first-party games, such as Ratchet & Clank and Returnal, and we're about to have Horizon Forbidden West and Gran Turismo 7. All those games take advantage of the adaptive triggers, which get stiffer or lighter depending on what's happening on screen. By putting in these smart triggers, not only are these controllers completely useless for things like racing games, but all first-party Sony games, most of them you cannot remap the functionality for those, and in a lot of games like Ratchet & Clank or Returnal, it's an actual function in game where you get like one firing mode if you hold the trigger down halfway, and then you pull it down all the way, and it turns your gun into a secondary fire mode. This is literally limiting the functionality of the DualSense controller and taking away from one of the coolest features of the DualSense. Same thing when we get to haptic feedback, removing the rumbles, as it used to be called. Well, there's not rumble force motors in there. There is vibration, but it is haptic feedback. It is not some sloppy rumble force like we've had in the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One and series for that matter. So those are two options that I'm going to forego. Haptic feedback really adds to the immersion of games when you're crunching on sand, start to lose traction, and you can actually feel it rumbling in your hand. Here's what I'm going to caveat that with though. If you are a PC gamer that plugs a DualSense controller into the front of your tower, or you primarily play PS4 games on your PS5, which don't have support for adaptive triggers and haptic feedback, and you would like those mouse-like switches and the triggers, and you would prefer a slightly lighter controller, go ahead and remove the haptic feedback motors and the smart triggers. Me? No, sir. I'd like to actually play PS5 games on my PS5 with a $300 premium controller. I don't just want it to be usable for only competitive shooters, but no first-party Sony games. Now, with a lot of custom controller companies, if you do install rear buttons or rear paddles, they automatically have to remove the rumble force motors to make room for their switches. It hasn't given me a warning yet, so it looks like this is not an issue with Battle Beaver. D-pad modification. Yes, we are going to opt for this. Basically, it replaces the mushy membrane D-pad with 4 separate solid buttons. So you get a nice, satisfying click, and you also know, hey, I'm definitely hitting left or hitting down. It's not all mushing together. So yes, we like that. However, that does limit the cosmetics of your D-pad to black and black only. Faceplate. We're getting into the cosmetic options now. So you have all these soft touch options for the front shell. These are basically like a rubberized material, and they do feel very good. Then if you don't want a solid color, you do have a couple of hydro dipping options, including wood grain, carbon fiber, money, blood splatter, this little tribal skull design. Over here in Hydro Dip, these are not rubberized, these are just smooth plastic. You can actually buy just these faceplate kits on Amazon and install them on your standard controller. It's from a company called Extreme Rate, and almost all these controller companies use these. And then you have these crystal ones over here, which are just a translucent shell, which shows a little bit of the guts or internals of your controller. So one thing I'm definitely not a fan of is the fact that you can only select black for your D-pad if you go with that mechanical switch. It should just affect the actual switches under there, but you can only get the D-pad in black now, which really cuts down on the cosmetic appeal or aesthetics of your controller, if that matters to anybody, which I guarantee it does. People that spend $300 on a controller give a shit what it looks like. Look familiar? This is a Mega Mods controller, and as you can see, this is the exact same faceplate that they're using over here. Same thing with this one. I have that in the living room as well from Hex Gaming. All these companies use the same damn faceplates. Now, there are a couple of exclusive or signature ones here. This, I believe, is only on Battle Beaver. This one. I think I've seen this one on Dream controllers and a couple of other companies. All right, now the rear shell. You've got these soft touch options over here, and the fact that you can still select all of these with their rear buttons engaged is really good. Some other builders, when you select the rear paddles or buttons, it savagely limits you to the grips that you can choose. So you've got solid soft touch colors, soft touch hydro dipped, as well as some translucent shells over here. That's too much carbon fiber. We need a little color pop in there. Oh, that might be the money right there, sweetheart. Oh, interesting. This one comes with a little warning here. Soft touch. Metallic soft touch shell is made of plastic covered in a high quality coating, basically like Plasti Dip, so therefore it is subject to chipping and peeling due to normal wear and tear over time. Well, I don't want that. Then you have these crystal ones over here, which indeed are just translucent. Then you have metallic, i.e. these are aluminum or metal, not plastic. And then you have lettered, which I personally really do like lettered. I like actually seeing cross, circle, square, and triangle on there. I think it adds to that OEM look and looks a little bit more professional in my opinion. So you've got the all red buttons over here and then black with red lettering. Well, not lettering, that'd be Xbox and Nintendo, but PlayStation symbols. These right here are speaking to my soul. Yes, I know I have the D-pad modification, so I'm unable to modify this, or I would make it red, which would be really cool. Go solid red, because soft touch gives you that warning. Hey, these are going to peel, or potentially could. No, ma'am. The only thing I peel around here is bananas. Ah, the thumbstick diagram. There you go. Pause the video if you need to stare at this. So the thumbstick options, you have PlayStation 5, which the PS4 and 5 use what is called a hybrid stick. So it is actually concaved and convex, domed, but also kind of raised around the outside like a little dish. Then you have the Xbox Series X buttons over here, which are strictly concaved. Then you have dome sticks, which I personally have been a fan of dome sticks all the way back to the PlayStation 2 era. As long as they have a grippy enough rubber or silicone, I prefer the feeling of a dome stick. So I might be going with these. I'm not sure yet. Then you have interchangeable sticks, which by the way, the sticks that they're using here are identical to what is on the aim controller over here. They just pop off like this. They're not magnetized. They just pop off with friction and then snap back on. So they're using the exact same thumbsticks here. If you go with the interchangeable option, then you have the Pro sticks over here, which I don't really know what they mean by that, and it doesn't give you a description. They look like Xbox thumbsticks to me. Ooh, but they got Pro domed over here. It does boost the price a little bit. And then you got the Z sticks. Again, no description as to what this is. That just shows it from the side, the profile of it. It does not show the actual tip or the top, the tippy top, where I can actually see what my thumb is going to be making contact with, whatever. So I'm going to go with the Pro dome stick on the left and right.
Just want to go back.
Some chick just whispered in my ear that was sultry.
It's time to go back, sweetheart. Ooh, making a nice controller there, boy.
All right, thumbstick ring. Yes, I would like them red. Thank you for asking. Ooh, yeah, that silver or gray might be the play. That looks sick. Goes good with the carbon fiber. Yep, that's the move. Little color pop in there. Okay, bumper style. You've got more of that soft touch that can peel off. Oh, this one's got two warnings, one on the top and bottom. Jesus. Got some metallic options. Solid red. Triggers, same thing. Solid red. That's a different shade of red, which kind of bothers me a little bit. So I might actually change this rear shell, which besides clicking next and previous, you can actually just jump to a specific step, which is pretty cool. That's dirty. That's dirty, as the kids say. All right, touchpad options. That's kind of hot. They have metallic options as well. And you can also add a touchpad marking. So if you want to have your logo or a catchphrase or slogan, you can type that in here. And then the rear button caps. I think it is really cool that they offered this option. Well, we'll select it, even though it's not reflecting it here in the builder. Hopefully it's making the change. Now the beaver tail, I'd like to show you what this thing is. Well, I'll have a picture on here of what the beaver tail is. But we'll select red, even though we can't see what the red looks like. Okay, control-free grips. If you've selected a soft touch faceplate or rear shell, which we do have both, do not select this grip. Control-free grips will not work on these soft touch faceplates due to the difference in texture. Yeah, they are stick-on 3M adhesive, well, stickers more or less, that you can buy on Amazon for about 15 bucks and put on your standard controller if you want. I'm gonna go ahead and pass on that. Holy crap! Oh my god, that is the shortest warranty I've ever seen in 2.5 years of testing over 3 dozen premium and custom controllers on this channel. 30-day money-back guarantee. Holy fuck. Oh, it gives you the price difference down here. Okay, so $15 for a 120-day, which is 6 months. I don't know how I feel about that. $15 for a 6-month warranty, that's still very short. And if you do not pay an additional $15, you're getting a 30-day money-back guarantee, i.e. use your controller as much as you possibly can in the first month to see if something's gonna happen, such as stick drift. We're gonna live life on the wild side. Premium USB-C cable. It's gonna be a hard pass. I have like a dozen USB-C cables. A BBC sticker. No thanks. I don't need any stickers or decals. Oh, that's cool. You can get a car decal in case you want to sticker bomb the rump end of your car or your PC tower. Well, I'm not 14, so I'm not going to do that. I don't know how many 14-year-olds are able to just buy a $300 controller, but whatever. Maybe they selling lollipops behind the bleachers. Oh, spring of 22. Holy shit, dude. So you can have a protective case, which is this little sucker down here, or you can have it in cardboard packaging. Cuts off the price a little bit. Your controller is placed in a non-abrasive foam pouch, secured with additional shock and moisture resistant padding, bubble wrap, and shipped with sturdy cardboard packaging. A box, or you can get the carrying case, which I really don't need because I don't travel with my controllers and I put them on display generally. So we'll go cardboard box. You know, it's always fun paying for something out of pocket, especially a large purchase. It's almost $300 and not having any estimate as to when you're going to get it. You have have a season. You'll get it sometime between your retirement and your death. Like, thanks, dude. Not only is the build time estimated for a season, that's spring, but also, there is no free shipping here. So far, this is the only controller company I've ever seen offer only a 30-day warranty by standard, and then charge $50 for only a 6-month warranty, which is generally very short as well. That's what Scuff Corsair offers on their controller, and that is what Hex Gaming offers on their controllers as well. AIM has a lifetime. Granted, it's limited, doesn't cover things like stick drift, because they start with a standard Xbox or PlayStation controller, so the thumbsticks aren't their design, they're just the factory ones. There's going to be 1 or 2 Battle Beaver fanboys out there, or some kind of logistics expert out there. It's like, well, I've actually got a master's degree in logistics, and you see they have to charge for shipping because they can't poke you in the patootie unless they do that. FedEx Ground. Yeah, 2 business days when the controller is built in 3 months. So $290, $278 out the door, and I have no idea when this bad boy is going to be delivered. I probably should have checked to see if there's any discount codes or coupon codes out there by using Honey plugin, or maybe watching a couple of YouTubers that have reviewed this controller and might have an exclusive discount in their description, like I do with AIM and Hex and Mega Mods and a bunch of other controller companies. All right, now we're over here on Evil Controllers, and I will say that cosmetically their website isn't as sensual or as appealing to the corneas, but it is easy to navigate. You have your different platforms of your Xbox, PlayStation. I guess Nintendo gets no love. Starting at $100 just for a regular DualSense, which we know is $70 on Amazon. I haven't spent enough money today. Let's go ahead and put a hurting on that pocketbook. Go ahead and slap my wallet around a little bit. Wow. Okay, this is an interesting layout for a builder. All right. I mean, what works, right? These are different than what we had with Battle Beaver. These are kind of metallic, and then these ones over here are a gradient. And then you have some special editions over here. You got Burst, very colorful. Galaxy, nice. Fortnite, of course, it's got the big old F. Apex Legends, that's actually pretty dope. Battlefield 2042, and then you have COD Vanguard. Nice. Now you got your face button and D-pad options. All right, you have kind of this bright lime green and gloss, and then you have a metallic deep green, which I think goes a little bit closer in line with this graphic over here. And then we'll go gray to match this over here. Ooh, the translucent one actually looks kind of cool. They don't have gray over here. Yeah, that works, I guess. Not crazy about these options thus far. All right, so unlike Battle Beaver, if you do add 2 or 4 buttons, you will need to remove the rumbles, which again are not rumbles per se. They're actually haptic feedback, which is pretty damn good. But we'll go with the 4-button design. Yes, I would like full remapping functionality. Put a little remap chip in the back of her. Thank you. Unlike Battle Beaver, you cannot change the placement. It looks like this is standard and low from what Battle Beaver's website looked like. All right, thumbsticks. Oh, and they don't even offer domed. Oh. Okay, sweetheart. No love for the domed players. Got it. Oh, they do. I'm just a big moron. They call them convex over here, which is indeed another word for domed. We're going to go short domed on the left, and we're going to go high domed on the right. No color options, no options for swappable thumbsticks. And it says right here, click here to add additional evil sticks. Okay, it pops up in a separate window. All right, $20 for these bad boys. All right, trigger options. Again, you can add those tactile triggers. I'm going to go ahead and pass on that, sweetheart. So editing this video, I do want to make clear, specify that I do have several controllers for all the different platforms or consoles that do have a smart trigger, which is basically a mouse click for when I'm playing first-person shooters. However, with the PlayStation 5, when I'm speccing out a DualSense controller that is almost $300, I definitely want it to be usable with any game that I'm going to play with it, which primarily, if I'm using a DualSense controller, it is going to be to play PlayStation 5 games. When I'm playing competitive first-person shooters on the PC, I'm either using mouse and keyboard, or when I am plugging in a controller, it is usually an Xbox One style controller, because the PC drivers are pretty trash for the PlayStation controllers currently and introduce a ton of input delay, and they even get disconnected sometimes. So that is why I keep reiterating that I am not going to remove the haptic feedback or adaptive triggers, because my uses for a DualSense controller is primarily to play PS5 games. But I have nothing against smart triggers, but I do prefer controllers that have trigger locks. I just happen to have an Elite Series 2 sitting next to me here. So that way, if you want to have full trigger pull for stuff like racing games, you can, but then you can cut out a big portion of your trigger pull for first-person shooters. So they do have an option for increased thumbstick tension, but unlike Battle Beaver, where they had 2 different settings, a medium and a very resistant or strong tension, they just have one. You can get it on the left or right stick or both. I'm gonna go right stick only. That's a $40 upgrade. $60 if you want both thumbstick modules. And you can pay to have the 2 most unique and awesome features of the DualSense removed, the adaptive triggers and the rumble force, which is actually not rumble force. It's haptic feedback, and both of those will be used in every single Sony Interactive Entertainment first-party game. Covered that earlier. $5 for a USB-C cable. That is actually substantially cheaper than most of these premium controller companies charge. For example, Scuff wants like $16 for a USB-C cable. Ridiculous. But but no, we don't need one. I've got plenty laying around here, and it's a wireless controller anyway. But for charging and pairing, you will initially need a USB-C cable. Just use the one that came with your PlayStation 5. I'm assuming if you're buying this, you most likely have a PS5, unless you're a PC player that wants to use this controller on PC. Okay, so they also have mod chips available here as well, which they did not have at Battle Beaver. I'm not going to add any mods because, well, I just don't use them. Add mods, you can do that right here. And of course, you can customize this bad boy with your own custom text or logo. Adds an extra 1 to 3 days of processing time. Protective case, $20. That's a hard pass for me. You can actually get a generic controller protective case on Amazon for around $10. I'll have one linked in the description below. Oh, here we go. Oh, all right. Another company with paid warranties. So the basic warranty at least is 12 months, not 1 month. Holy shit, Battle Beaver. For real? Beaver damn. All right, check this out. This is fun right here. So the standard warranty, the missionary position one that you get by default, is 1 year. However, it doesn't cover stick drift, which makes sense because I do believe they probably start with licensed PlayStation DualSense controllers and then modify from there. So it's not really their thumbstick modules, but it'd be nice if they offered the option, which they do, but you got to pay for it. But they will not cover stick drift and no shipping coverage. So if this thing gets absolutely demolished by your UPS guy, now if you want to pay an additional $50, you can get 18 months. So you get 6 months for $50, and that will cover thumbsticks. No shipping coverage though. And then over here, if you want to sell a kidney and drop $90 extra, you can get 2-year warranty, which covers stick drift and shipping coverage. I'm just going to live dangerously. Oh, extended holiday returns. Nice. Play Evil till January 15th, 2022. It's already past January 22. We're in February. What the fuck? Update your website, please. Ships for free on orders over $200. You see that, Battle Beaver? PC compatible. No shit. Virtually any controller, whether it's for PlayStation, Xbox, PC only, mobile. You can play just about anything on PC. There's driver sets for just about anything out there. Add to cart. They're missing a lot of cosmetic options over here at Evil controllers. No bumpers, no triggers, no rear shell, no touchpad. So what I do like about Evil a whole hell of a lot more than Battle Beaver when it comes to actually getting these controllers in your hand, well, first of all, the shipping. Free. Second of all, not this major delay with no real estimated time. Spring of 22 is so vast or vague. This tells you get it between February 25th and March 3rd. So I don't know what was going on with their website. It was just glitching out pretty hardcore, but it seems to be fine now. And I did find an actual working coupon code by Googling Evil controllers discount code. Did some browsing off camera for about 5 or 10 minutes and was able to dig up this code, save 25, which knocks off $25. And it looks like there's no sales tax either, which is very interesting. So we got out of there alive and the damage was $239.70. And it should be here the end of this month, early next month. As where Battle Beaver was $292.78 with $13.50 of shipping, and I have no estimated date of arrival, but it has a lot of customization and I'm excited for it. These two bad boys will be promptly reviewed as soon as I receive them. There is a tab on my YouTube channel as well as the description in every video to my merch store in case you're sick of being naked. I also have coupon and discount codes for many products including custom controllers and gaming chairs found only in the description of my videos. Check me out at Facebook Gaming where I am a partner and upload a ton of exclusive gameplay content. Join the community Discord to chat with myself for the stallions and stallionettes of gamer heaven. And while I love each and every one of you bucking broncos equally, if you want to become a stallion or stallionette by supporting myself as well as the channel, clicking on the membership tab allows you to become a member of gamer heaven where you unlock a ton of exclusive perks. Smacking the thumbs up button, otherwise known as liking the video, will help it to get seen by more gamers. This information will reach and assist them as well. Subscribe for more content like this. I cover news in the gaming community and industry as well as tutorials helping you get set up streaming and YouTubing, and honest gaming peripheral reviews, keyboards, mice, headsets, controllers, mics, chairs, etc. And I'll see you tomorrow because I upload daily. Usually. Most of the time. Peace.